Ladies and gentlemen, we draw our attention towards the Champions League versus Istanbul for the second time. After a very bad loss against them in the first time, Manchester United are going to seek for retribution, for payback and for dominance against Istanbul. However, can it be achieved, and does Ole have the right lineup in place to go and get this victory? He said a lot of things in his press conference, so let's see who I think he'll pick in this video. Let's do it. What's up everybody, it's the Aidan Sports Show and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Manchester United video in relation to the Champions League and Istanbul, and the match prediction of this video where I give my starting 11 for Manchester United and give my score prediction at the end of the video. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports Show YouTube channel, turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below. Overall, do you think Manchester United will seek retribution and end up getting their retribution against Istanbul? Look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has said it again, we need to get to 10 points, and we've made this extremely much more difficult than it needed to be with that loss to them in the first place. If we lose to them again, Manchester United have basically lost every advantage that we did have by beating PSG and beating RB Leipzig. Because at the end of the day, those teams are going to be much harder to beat the second time around than they will be the first. So Manchester United really need to see this as the opportunity to qualify into the Champions League. This game needs to be probably the most must-win game that we have for the rest of the Manchester United Champions League qualification. We need to win this game. It's as simple as that. And we need to pick a lineup that will go and win this game. We have a very, very, very deep squad, as it looks like, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has persisted in some rotation within this team, saying things like Bruno cannot play every game, or that Dean Henderson will have more than one game played until December. So the fact of the matter is, his press conference has screamed rotation to me. So Manchester United have a lot to decide now. Which team is going to take us to this victory? How are we going to get this victory? How are we going to break them down? Because we failed to do so in the first game. These are all the questions that we need to be answered. And unfortunately, the West Brom game gave us more questions than answers despite the victory. So Manchester United need a much better performance. We're going to have a different team out there, and we need to see if that team and that performance is ready and good enough to beat Istanbul and every other Champions League opponent to come. Now, the Premier League is always going to be important, but sometimes, man, when your back's against the wall and the Champions League is still there and you still want to be in it, you need to go all out in this Manchester United game. You need to attack them, you need to score, and you need to beat them convincingly to send a message that Manchester United are not going to fold in this Champions League run. We don't want to go back into the Europa League this year. There is literally no point in doing that. We don't want to get out from fourth, and I don't think that will ever be the case, because then we won't even get Europa League. But we are in a very good position, but that position has gotten worse. So let's see if Manchester United can pull back the victory and give themselves an even bigger advantage. So what have we learned from Istanbul so far? The first game, they love the counter-attack. They seem to be very fluent on the counter-attack, and they're very intelligent with how they scored their first goal, in which Manchester United just absolutely lost all sorts of IQ when it comes to football. That first goal was horrendous, but then the second goal was a very good counter-attacking goal. So we have the way that Istanbul are going to play. They're probably going to redo that same performance against us tonight or tomorrow for many people. So Manchester United need to find a way to stop the counter-attack, and we have to score first. No more catch-up football. We need to score first in this game. Away form, I believe, is a big thing as well. But anyway, first things first, let's go to the starting 11 for Manchester United. In goal, I've gone with Dean Henderson. Now, look, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has spoken a lot about Dean Henderson throughout this press conference for the Champions League, and it speaks volumes that he's saying that he's going to get more than one game through until Christmas. At the end of the day, Dean Henderson, he said, is maturing. He loves Dean Henderson. He wants to stay at Manchester United. He's speaking very highly of this goalkeeper. And the fact of the matter is, this is a game where I could see Dean Henderson playing and comfortably doing well. Again, he's not put a foot wrong. He's not done anything wrong to not be given an opportunity. And maybe in some of these games, he will be given the opportunity. Now, will he start? I think he will. But again, he might not. And at the end of the day, that's just the way that it is for Manchester United right now. We do have very good depth in that position. And we could very well see Dean Henderson get a run out for Manchester United today. I'm very excited to see him play, as I am for most of our team. Right back, I've gone with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Again, very straightforward. We could go for a Brandon Williams or a Foster Mensah, but I just don't see that working out in terms of a Champions League game. Maybe I'll be wrong on that, but I think Aaron Wan-Bissaka is the right way to go for this team. We need to see a very good Aaron Wan-Bissaka today. This is going to be the most important Champions League game that we face. We still have PSG. We still have Leipzig. We still have those two to come. And those two maybe at the time will become more important than this game. But this game is so important for Manchester United. So much more important than the last three that we played. We need to win this game. So Aaron Wan-Bissaka needs to show his defensive prowess. He needs to get into the tackles. He needs to win the ball. He needs to be positionally good. He needs to be all these things, because at the end of the day, we're going to need him just as much as we need a lot of our players. And if he can deliver in that manner, in that way, then I think he will do very, very well for Manchester United. Going into the centre-back position, I have gone with Axel Tuanzebe. And at the end of the day, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was not really screaming, but he was specifically mentioning pace. And pace is going to be a big thing, because again, their counter-attack was done with an extreme amount of pace. So Manchester United, we have a very tough predicament to go with, because if we go with Victor Lindelof will end up slowing us down, and that could definitely be a way to send off the counter-attack. But, and this is a big but, if we play Axel Tuanzebe wasn't the best against Istanbul, but he does have the pace, and I think with more game time under his belt, he'll become better and better and better. I think he's the right way to go. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is thinking that way as well, because why would he put Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire if we're talking about pace of the counter-attack? Fact of the matter is, it doesn't make sense, and he specifically said that. So I think Axel Tuanzebe is going to be the way to go, and obviously he's going to play Harry Maguire next to him. He always plays Harry Maguire. Why should I expect any different from Manchester United? Harry Maguire will probably play this game. Harry Maguire, look, I can't really complain about Harry Maguire so far for this period of time. I could have a go at him at the start of the season, but in the middle of the season, I can't really say anything negative towards him. I still think he's not putting out his best performances. I still think he's not really that confident. But in terms of being steady and a little bit more composed and not really as, I guess, difficult to watch sometimes, he's doing okay. That's all I can say. He's doing okay, but I know he could do better than what he is doing. So we're going to need to see that Harry Maguire. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what's going to happen. I'm sure Ole's going to persist on playing Harry Maguire. But at the moment, I think a lot of people are fed up. Even if he is playing okay, people are fed up with him. So he needs to step it up. He needs to step it up. We need to motivate these players. He needs to step it up. Hopefully this game will be the game he could do that. The left back position, pretty straightforward. Alex Telles could be the key thing in this game. Again, if you saw our last goal against Istanbul, it was a cross from Luke Shaw to Anthony Martial. Alex Telles can do that as well, very, very well. If not, he's better attacking-wise than Luke Shaw. So we could see some attacking threats with the cross. And Alex Telles, that is where he thrives. He thrives at giving a set-piece delivery. He thrives at delivering a cross. And I think that it could be a very, very, very good asset to have against a team like Istanbul, and defensively he should be fine as well if he doesn't get caught out. Moving on into the CDMs. Now, I think we are going to play a diamond in this game, because I just don't see a way that Dan James or Juan Mata gets into this team, and I'm not sure about Mason Greenwood either. So I think the diamond is most likely going to be what we play. First off, I think Fred will play. Fred has played a lot of games. Resting him, if I do see us resting him, it will be for Donny van de Beek. So if you want Donny van de Beek to play, I think he'll be in place of Fred if Fred doesn't play. But I think Fred is going to play. Again, Fred is one of those players that I don't believe went to the Brazilian side. Didn't go to Brazil, didn't think he caught up, and he had about 2 weeks to train at Manchester to get a little bit of rest. He's probably a little bit more energetic and fresher than a couple of players that did go on international break. So I think it's definitely capable to play Fred in this and still have a very good Fred, as he is for most games that he plays. Now, in the other CDM position, I've gone with Scott McTominay. Now, people might not like that. Again, most people don't like Scott McTominay playing as the CDM. But I think when Ollie said that Scott McTominay has travelled all across the world in his international break, I think he said that specifically to play Matic and then play McTominay afterwards and then continue to play McTominay. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Scott McTominay will play in this game. And it's very similar to a lot of our other players. He needs to prove to us that he is worthy of playing. Because at the moment, people are fed up of Scott McTominay. He needs to prove himself at the starting lineup for Manchester United if he's going to keep playing there. If we keep on playing Scott McTominay in the starting 11 and he keeps on failing to deliver, then we have to look beyond Scott McTominay. So, this is a chance for Ollie, and this is a chance for Scott McTominay to prove to us that he is deserving of a spot in the starting 11 for Manchester United. Now, the other centre mid that I'm going to go with, and I know people are going to get frustrated when I say this, but I just see this happening, Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba was a player that had a little bit of an injury concern. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said that there are a few things to go with Paul Pogba before he can confirm if he's playing or not. But ultimately, if he is uncertain, I think Ollie will just put Paul Pogba in there regardless, to be honest. And that could be bad for Paul Pogba. We could see a worse performance because of that from Paul Pogba. But at the end of the day, that's what I see Manchester United doing. I see us throwing Paul Pogba into the fire once again, and he could end up blossoming, or he could end up failing. And most of the time he's ended up failing when he's been put into a situation where he's come into the season unfit and we're playing him every single game. We've not seen the best out of Paul Pogba. And we could be doing the same thing. We don't learn from our mistakes. That's a given. Every Manchester United manager, every single Manchester United team, we don't learn from the mistakes that we do. And Paul Pogba is going to be another prime example of that. Now, in the cam position, I've gone with Bruno Fernandes. Again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has stressed that Bruno Fernandes can't play every game, but he did also say that he was very, very happy that he only played 1.5 games for Portugal, which means that Bruno Fernandes has gotten some rest in this international break. The fact of the matter is, if he's going to have breaks within the international, within Portugal, he's probably going to play every single game right now for Manchester United until the next international break. I don't see how Bruno doesn't play in this game. Again, had a terrific performance against West Brom. Arguably the best player on the pitch for both sides and was our man of the match. Despite only getting 1 goal, he could have easily had a lot more than 1 goal in that game. He could have 2 assists, and he was definitely man of the match. He was definitely the best player on that pitch. So he has to play in this game. This is a must-win game. You don't drop Bruno Fernandes in a must-win game. I don't care if Mata is going to play number 10. I don't care if Donny van de Beek plays in the number 10 position. At the end of the day, you don't drop your best players when it comes to a must-win scenario. And this is a must-win scenario. So is Southampton. At the moment, we want to give Bruno a break, but there are just some games that you just can simply not rest him. Because we don't have the depth in Manchester United to give him that break and have the same quality. Maybe Donny van de Beek can do that number 10 position, but ultimately I would rather see Donny van de Beek play where Fred plays over where Bruno plays. It's as simple as that. Going into the front two, first off is Marcus Rashford. Again, Marcus Rashford was another player that had a little bit of an injury concern. He did play last game against West Brom, didn't play the whole 90 minutes, played for like 80 minutes, so I don't think that's a big deal either. And I think he will play here as well. Now, ultimately, Rashford has been up and down. We need to see the best out of Marcus Rashford. I say it every video, we need to see the best out of Marcus Rashford, because when he is on his best, he is so good. He's arguably our best player when he's in form. So whenever we find that form is when we're going to see the best out of Marcus Rashford. And of course, Anthony Martial. Again, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has talked about Anthony Martial a lot, saying that he doesn't, people are saying like the questions, saying that Martial is not as good as maybe the likes of Vardy and Aguero and Harry Kane. And maybe those things are right. Maybe he isn't as good as those players. But one thing that he is good at is converting his opportunities, and maybe with the few performances that he's had, he hasn't been able to do that, and he's been a bit low on confidence. So I think I really think once he gets that first goal in the Premier League, this Champions League game, if he scores, I think that'll be great. But I think in the Premier League, when he scores his first goal in the Premier League, that's when I continue to see him kicking off. It's all about getting the first one for Martial, because he's a confidence player. When he gets the first one, then more will come for him. I really believe that. He is a threat. He is a very dangerous player, and the Premier League centre-backs, Champions League centre-backs, they fear him. They know his qualities. They know that he's a quality player. So at the end of the day, this is why I believe Martial can do that number 9 position. But ultimately, he can also play down the left. He did play down the left last game against West Brom for a small part of the game, and he did very well there. So we just have to wait and see how Martial will be used in the future. But I think the number 9 position for him will still work out for Manchester United one way or another. He will perform and he will do his thing. We just have to wait for that first goal to go in, and then I think we'll see more. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, because that's when it will begin to be a problem if it's halfway through the season, he hasn't scored yet, or even if it's like the next 4 games in the Premier League and he's still yet to score, then it becomes a bit of a problem. But at the moment, I don't see any issue with Martial. He's had a very good start to the Champions League campaign. Let's see if he can kick it off in the Premier League. That's the team I'm going with. I'm predicting Manchester United to win this game 2-1. I don't think this is going to be easy. I don't think that we're going to be capable of keeping a clean sheet with the counter-attack that they possessed. And ultimately, they schooled us last game. They really schooled us last game. So hopefully there's going to be a vice versa performance where we school them, but they just get a lucky shot on goal and they score, but we end up winning the game. The win is the most important thing at the moment. The scoreline, if we win 1-0, I'll be happy. But we need to perform. West Brom, we didn't perform. And I didn't come and slaughter these players because there was an international break. I didn't expect Manchester United to be fantastic Manchester United, like 5-0 Manchester United. I didn't expect that, to be honest. And I don't expect that for quite some time. But we need to perform a lot better against West Brom. If we win 1-0, but we have the worst performance in Manchester United like we did against Brighton, I'm not going to be happy. And I'm not going to come here and say I'm happy with the result with that performance. But I do see us performing a little bit better than West Brom, and I do see us winning this game, to be honest. So that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Let me know in the comments below, do you think Manchester United will end up winning this game? Have a wonderful and safe day. I'll see you in another Manchester United video, the match reaction. Stay tuned. It was a little bit late last week. Last game, I apologize. Hopefully it won't be late again this game. Take care and peace.